Hello and welcome to Mastery Tracking for Schoology for Merrill Middle School. My name is Luke Munt. I'm the digital coach for the region, and I help you guys with everything digital, not fixing the computers, but how to use the tools that we have in our district and at the school. So we're going to be talking about Schoology and how to track students' mastery of standards within Schoology. To show this, I'm going to pull up a course. I'm just going to use my sandbox as an example for this. And I'm going to hit the Mastery tab right here. So Gradebook is different than Mastery because grades are just grading all grades, but Mastery is showing an individual standards, how students are progressing. To set this up, I need to go to the gear at the top and I'm going to go to my mastery settings. You can see that I've already entered all the settings and you need to have your settings the same. This is all Merrill courses need to be this time, and every term you need to reset this. So at semester breaks or quarter breaks, you need to make sure that these settings are turned on for your mastery tracking. They are 75% for meets expectations. That is a 3 out of 4 on the rubric. 90% for exceeds expectations. That means that they are mostly 4. They need to have at least 3 at bats to demonstrate mastery. So they need to have at least 3 threes to achieve mastery. And we need to make sure that the decaying average is turned on. The decaying average means that students are more heavily weighted for their recent at-bats versus past at-bats. So if a student achieves mastery in, say, January, but then it's April and they haven't demonstrated mastery in a few weeks, this is going to take that into account. That, hey, you did great a few months ago, but we need to see that you are continuing to show mastery. We need to go 50% and numeric for our last settings. These are all, again, the Merrill settings. You can pause the video here to make sure that you have these for each of your classes. So this is what the mastery tracking looks like, and you can see I've already entered some scores, but I want to show you what it looks like to add an assignment before we come back to this. So I'm going to go to materials, and I'm actually going to add a discussion. I would like to see how my students can discuss. Let's go bud, not buddy. Okay, so we're going to have an online discussion. I'd give a description here, giving everything that I want from my students. I'll just choose a couple days ahead. I'm going to choose, doesn't matter my category, but I really need to choose my learning objective. You can see here preloaded are tons and tons of different standards. You can see science standards, Common Core, all these different ones. They even have specific Colorado standards if you need to look it up. So I'm going to go Common Core and ELA because this is Bud Not Buddy. I'm going to go down to 6th grade, and then I'm just going to choose a reading standard here. Key ideas. Let's just go 6.2 here for my learning objective. I can add more learning objectives if I wish. I can do more there, but this is the standard I want for this particular discussion that I'm going to do. So I'm going to go create. Oh, you know what? I forgot to do one key step, and that is making this 4 points. Sorry about that. So it needs to be worth 4 points because that's the rubric scores for Merrill. So it's worth 4 points. Then I'm going to go to my gradebook and actually enter in the grades for my students, and I'm just going to give them some random grades here. Okay, so I've entered my grades for Bud Not Buddy on the 4-point scale here, and then I'm going to check back into my mastery, see how this new assignment has demonstrated mastery for my students. I can actually see that some students have turned red and a couple students have achieved mastery. So the achieved mastery gives them this little star, and if I hover over the amount of at-bats that they have for 3, you can see that this student has achieved 2 4s and 1 3. So they're demonstrating mastery at 3 at-bats. They've scored a 3 or higher. Same with this one, that's 2 3s and a 4, whereas some of my other students here are not demonstrating mastery yet. That's fine, it's early in the year, and I can check in on them. So I can look directly even at this one category, and I can see then exactly how my students are scoring. So as I'm getting further into the year, I might want to click in and drill down as to how my students are achieving mastery, and you can see the different shades as they're going along with it. So that's mastery tracking, pretty easy. Always remember that 4-point scale and those settings that I showed you at the beginning of the video. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. Here is my email. You can always reach out to me, and I'm here to help you. Thank you very much, guys. Have a good school year.